Hi, this is Raj, and yeah, it's been quite some time since I posted the introduction video. But yeah, we're getting started with the technical aspect of this channel, and the first thing I'm looking towards is creating a common Lisp series for basically educational purposes. So before we get started, I do have a plan in mind, but yeah, just a disclaimer. This is more of an intellectual pursuit. So common Lisp will make you a better programmer by the by but yeah, it won't necessarily help you find a job. So if that's what you're looking for, and yeah, this might not be the series for you. But yeah, in terms of being interested in computation in general and all the aspects of computer science, common Lisp is probably and scheme, I guess. So a racket or a Lisp, a scheme or a Lisp might be the best languages to explore computer science in terms of how you explore concepts and learn new things. And yeah, there are no limits from the language side in terms of what you can do with them. Yeah, let's get started with this. So I have a basic buffer to explain what I plan to do with the series. Okay, so yeah, so I plan to make it an end-to-end series in terms of covering everything from the beginning to the advanced concepts. And yeah, uh, this will specifically be for common Lisp and not any other Lisp or any scheme. So I will be going into the technical details and not just be talking about a Lisp philosophically, as many blog posts and videos might do on YouTube. Uh, yeah, I mean, I find there to be a lack of casual content on technical aspects of Lisp. So, I mean, like how people talk about the mainstream languages, like say Python or C++. Uh, there are not a lot of Lisp programmers out there that do this, so I do see a gap in the market, which hopefully I'll fill in. And yeah, uh, maybe this helps in building the third or fourth generation of programmers. I guess the fourth generation would be John McCarthy, of course, and I guess then there's the second generation starts from Peter Sibyl, I guess, the Practical Common Lisp author, and yeah, third generation. I'm not aware of them explicitly, but yeah, I guess we're the fourth or fifth generation. So if I can help in any way to make Common Lisp popular, yeah, that'd be a great thing. So this is my contribution towards that. So yeah, this series I expect to keep it a keep it a mixture of theoretical and practical stuff, and there'll be of course like the tooling and everything, the meta phase, and like setting up your editors and everything. I mean, I wouldn't force any choice on you, but yeah, I definitely recommend Emacs with Slime. So, I mean, okay, yeah, let's explore that right now. Yeah, so let me delete the old stuff. Killing all the old processes so you can see like how one could get started with slime development like right away, and like what your editor should be able to do. Okay, so for example, I just create a new list file, and yeah, so a basic editor should be able to handle parentheses well. There should be indentation, and yeah, things should be clear. As in, like you don't want to be counting parentheses when programming. So that is going to be a very bad that would be a bad experience. That is something I can imagine would make Lisp, I say, a bad experience. But yeah, so you have the editor to do the stuff for you. So pretty basic stuff like highlighting highlighting your parentheses in different colors, or like handling the indentation by itself. Yeah, that sort of stuff. It should be able to do on its own. So here I have a simple program as of now, and let me start a slime process. Okay, let me zoom in a little, I guess. Yeah. So this is a basic function that does it just prints the symbol hello world. And this is my slime. This is my Lisp process with the front end of slime. So yeah. So whenever you're choosing an editor, like for a Lisp environment, say you can even use lem, I guess that's specifically for common Lisp, or maybe I don't know. There's stuff in VS Code extensions there which can help you get started quickly and without the burden of learning Emacs. Yeah, I guess that would be a good starting point too. But just make sure your editor can do a few things. First of all, like I highlighted, let's go to yeah. So basic rainbow delimiters, I guess that is one sort of extension that you can install. And then there's smart parentheses. So something like yeah, just highlights parentheses, helps you find a way to jump between stuff quickly. That sort of stuff. Yeah. So that will help you a lot in terms of efficiency. And yeah, of course, Slime and Emacs uh, is said to be the best environment out there for programming in Lisp. But yeah, uh, if you find it to be too big of a hurdle to get started with Emacs, to get started with Common Lisp, you can try other editors too. There's just these basic requirements that I'm pointing at right now that you should make sure that your editor can provide. So, for example, you should be able to load a function. So with keybinds. So I'm putting my I'm inserting a stroke right now. Control Alt X or Control Meta X. And yeah, if you can see the mini buffer, you see the message there of hello world that signifies that this function was loaded. So yeah, there you go. And you should be able to compile and load files quickly. So as of now, so something like this, Control CK again, bounded to keystrokes. You don't want to be going Alt X and line compile and load or anything like that. So yeah, again bounded to keystrokes. So yeah, these are some basic things that I'll recommend your editor can do, and to make it a good experience. I mean, you can even write Lisp in vanilla Vim or VI, but yeah, I mean, why would you why would you make yourself go through that? So yeah, okay. So now that we have covered the requirements of the editor, let's move on to what I plan to cover. So there will be a theoretical phase, as in like all of these phases will be spliced. Of course, there's not going to be a stretch of each of these phases at once. So it's going to be a mixture. And yeah, so initially I this is the introduction. So I'm talking about plants and stuff. So uh, this is more in alignment towards my interest in computation and computer science in general, and not towards say building a portfolio or anything like that. I mean, of course, common Lisp is like extremely practical and like yeah, you can do industrial stuff with it. And I'll probably link some blogs and essays by I guess people who inspired me to get into common Lisp in the first place. I think some would be what like there's this Steve Losh that has the road to common Lisp that like gives you a good roadmap. And I think the Paul Graham essays are pretty good. So I'll link them in the description. But yeah, so to help you motivate, yeah, to get into Lisp. So yeah, this is purely from a perspective of yeah, for the love of computation and just how a computer is. And like yeah, I mean, I started my journey with SICP with Racket. So I think those days I was like pretty stuck on being practical. So I started with High. It is a Python dialect, a Lisp dialect in Python. So and then I switched on to Racket. Because like yeah, I didn't get the proper experience. I think like High doesn't have tail call optimization. So yeah, I'm not aware as of now. I know it didn't then. So, and like recursion is a big thing, the big thing in this. So, and even iterations and like loops are performed in terms of recursive function calls. So, you probably would like to check if your implementation or dialect has tail call optimization implemented. So that is one thing. And yeah, so common Lisp because it is yeah the the most prominent and like in terms of being traditional and having industrial applications. I mean, of course, there's Clojure, but that's not exactly the traditional experience. So yeah, that's why common Lisp and not Scheme because like it's more pedagogical. So yeah, it's good to get started, but then doing advanced stuff, you really don't want to be building like reinventing the wheel. So yeah, in terms of that, I wouldn't recommend a Scheme in terms of when you're building stuff. Of course, for like getting into a Lisp or like a Lispy language, a Scheme is good. But yeah, not when you want to like actually build stuff. So yeah, uh, so I mean, this is what I plan on covering. I'll uncover these nodes and future videos and stuff. I have plans for them. So yeah, and in the end, I do hope to create a community of active Lispers. Like, I mean, I think it's still there. I mean, yeah, there's people do talk on Reddit. There's LinkedIn groups and stuff, but it's not exactly as much in use as a lot of common Lispers would like it to be. Now, there's multiple arguments for that. I mean, uh, I guess most programmers don't get into it because of the parentheses. I mean, if that's the case, like that is a very, I guess I would say, I don't know, a childish reason. But yeah, Lisp is the language that I felt the most, I don't know, uh, that gave me the most joyful experience ever in terms of programming. And yeah, I hope that you can share that too sometime soon once you get into it. And like, I'll be glad to be your intro to it. So yeah, uh, I mean, there'll be books and stuff that'll be linking in the description later on in later videos. Resources from that, two papers, all that stuff. So a complete end-to-end thing that I plan to uh, make this into a complete end-to-end thing. So yeah, and not just philosophical videos of Lisp. So you'll see a lot of podcasters and people talking about Lisp in terms of like yeah, uh, in a very abstract way. Uh, yeah, in terms of why it will make you a better programmer or why you should learn a Lisp. Or, like there's a lot of why out there. But yeah, I mean, I also wish to incorporate like how, what, and all the other stuff that goes with it, and like really get people into it. So this is by no means something. I think in terms of experience, if you want to get into this series, I would I would just recommend like yeah. I mean, I guess the only prerequisite is like enthusiasm to learn and stuff. I don't think like you'll need. Yeah, I'll pretty much be covering all the basics as well until advanced topics. So it should be a pretty slow process, but then in the end, it should be a pretty good archive of like what the ecosystem has to offer. Uh, and yeah, by the way, I'm not a professional Lisper, or I do not. Yeah, I am no way. I'm in no way an expert in Lisp. I myself am learning and reading a lot right now. So yeah, this might also help me become a better Lisper in the end. And yeah, that's the goal. So right, I guess yeah, that's enough for today. And I look forward to seeing you in future videos pretty soon. I think they should be frequent, I guess. So now that I have a roadmap and stuff, it's pretty much chalked out. So yeah, I hope to push out videos frequently. And do let me know what you think in the comments and any suggestions, any other any other aspects that you think I should cover. I mean, it's just the beginning, so you won't be able to like talk about it right now. But then any recommendations that you have right away. So yeah, and yeah, if you wish to collaborate in terms of making Lisp popular again. So okay, I do see this argument that the mystery of Lisp is is that it is unpopular and like a lot of programmers don't get into it, and only a particular sect of people keep on rediscovering it in generation after generation. There are people like this on Stack Overflow and Reddit and like stuff. Yeah, that say stuff like this. I mean, again, I'm not an expert, so I'll not comment on that. But yeah, there's no harm in teaching something so beautiful. So yeah, that's it for the day. Uh, Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you soon. This was Raj. If you like where the channel is going, do with the like button and the subscribe button if you wish to be notified. Thanks.